I've written out a list of rules and regulations for us to follow, said Mr. Rusty. I'm fed up with people rushing around and coming and going as they please. Hi, said Florence. He's right, you know, said Zebedee. It's mayhem. And I've painted a warning sign. Ah, wise man, said Zebedee. If we all did that, the world would be a better place. Yes, it's time we had a proper highway code, said Dougal. You never know who you might bump into round here. Yeah, like some days I can't even hear myself thinking, said Dylan. I think we should have restricted parking zones and lay-bys and pedestrian precincts, said Ermintrude. Yes, it gets very crowded up there sometimes in that tree. I mean, yesterday I was stuck there for 3 hours just trying to get a branch to sing on. Ooh, I know. I've always said we should have traffic lights up there. I've always wanted to be a traffic warden, not so much because of the uniform, but because I like meeting people and winding them up. I don't think we'd have any problems at all if everybody was like me, environmentally sound, punctual, reliable... Oops. Yes, no, that wasn't meant to happen. Right. Ooh. Comfy, girls? Off we go. There should definitely be cycle lanes and everyone should wear more visible clothing, said Mr. McHenry. And the speed limit. Don't forget the speed limit, said Brian. Right, said Zebedee. When moving across the garden, the following procedures should be observed. I'm all ears, said Brian. Look to the left and the right, check thoroughly in all directions that you're not obstructing a stationary object, then after ensuring that you're in an upright position, proceed with caution. Or on a bicycle, said Mr. McHenry, not quite understanding. Are we all agreed, said Zebedee. They were. The following hazard warnings should be observed at all times. Penelope? Warning, web ahead, said Penelope. Oh, right, wow, said Dylan. Dylan, are you with us, said Florence. And she put his sign up for him. I think that means no noise area, said Florence on Dylan's behalf. And what about you, Ermintrude? Keep on the grass, said Ermintrude. And Dougal? Beware of low-flying cows, said Dougal. Well, I don't find that amusing at all, actually, said Ermintrude, and I don't think I'm going to play any more. And she left. Oh, come on, Ermintrude, said Florence. This is only going to work if we all agree to abide by the rules. Pedal power, said Mr. McHenry, irrelevantly. Ooh, not bad, said the train. Well, what have you got? Asked Florence. Let the train take the strain, said the train. Oh, yes, that's good. No singing between the hours of 8:30 and 1:30 and 3 o'clock and 7:30 on weekends, and on weekdays 8 o'clock to 11:30 unless you're displaying the appropriate permit. That shouldn't be too difficult to remember, said Florence. What was it again? This is really going to improve our quality of life, said Dougal. My turn, said Brian. There's something missing, said Dougal. Flowers, said Mr. Rusty. Flowers? said Florence. Flowers? said Dougal. Yes, flowers, said Mr. Rusty. Flowers? said Brian. Just flowers, said Zebedee. What kind of a warning sign is that? I think we're getting rather cluttered up with all these signs, actually, said Mr. Rusty. I wish I'd never started all this. Couldn't we just turn it into an art gallery and call this one Flowers by Mr. Rusty? Hello, Mr. Rusty, said Florence. What's happening? Well, not a lot as it happens, said Mr. Rusty. Zebedee, Zebedee, called Florence. Where are you? Can we go and do something? I feel in the mood for an adventure of some sort. Actually, said Mr. Rusty, it's Zebedee's day off. Day off? said Florence. I didn't know he got one. Oh, yes, said Mr. Rusty, he does. Indeed, said Zebedee. "I do have them every now and then, you know." "Well, lucky old you," said Mr. Rusty. "I can't remember the last time I had one." "Yes," said Zebedee. "Time to put your feet up, relax, and do all those little jobs that never get done." "Oh, that's a shame," said Florence. "I really feel like having an adventure." "Yes, well, there'll be none of that today," said Zebedee. "Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go and unwind." "It's Zebedee's day off," said Florence. "Day off? Day off?" said Dougal. "Yes," said Florence. "He's gone to put his feet up somewhere." "Well, that'd be an interesting sight," said Dougal. "So I suppose we'll just have to amuse ourselves," said Florence. "I don't know," said Dougal. "Just because he jumps around a bit, he thinks he deserves a holiday. We'd all like a lie-in every now and then, but life's not like that." "Hello," said Florence to Ermintrude, who was grazing compulsively. "It's Zebedee's day off." "Is it?" said Ermintrude. "I'm so glad. I was just thinking yesterday he looked a little stressed. He pushes himself too hard, you know." "Oh, get on with your digesting," said Dougal, "you three-stomached vegetarian." "Yes, but what shall we do?" said Florence, sighing. "Hello, Dylan," said Florence. "It's Zebedee's day off." "Oh, wow. He's really out of sight." "Do you fancy doing anything?" Which way is the wind blowing? The answer is no." "There's no point in asking him," said Dougal. "He's permanently out to lunch. Lettuce-eating loafer." Wow. "I suppose we could have a burping contest, or learn a new language or something," said Florence. "I had a day off once," said Dougal, "and I needed a holiday at the end of it." "But it all seems a bit boring and pointless without Zebedee," said Florence. "Hey, man, it's like what you put in, right? I mean, what you give is what you get, you dig?" "Well, I think we're better off without him," said Dougal. "I mean, for goodness sake, it's not as if he was completely indispensable, is it?" "Hello," said Brian. "It's Zebedee's day off." "Yes, we had noticed," said Dougal, sarcastically. "So I'm standing in for him," said Brian. "Whee!" "Oh," said Florence. "Well, that shows initiative, anyway." "Time for bed," said Brian. "What's going on here? Hello, hello, hello." "Oh," said Florence, "it's not the same, somehow." "You look like the inside of a biro," said Dougal. "Yes," said Florence. "I suppose you'll be wanting special treatment next. Half-days, bank holidays, flexi time, I don't know." "Well, you've got to put your feet up sometime." Whoops. "What's going on here?" said Zebedee. "Oh, hello," said Florence. "Have you had a nice rest?" "Yes, thank you," said Zebedee. "I feel very refreshed now and relaxed. I could do with one of those more often. Oh, well. Back to the grindstone. Now, time for bed." "Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. The roof of my roundabout's been damaged in the storm," said Mr. Rusty, mopping his brow. "Hello," said Florence. "What's happened?" "It's the storm. It's damaged my roof," said Mr. Rusty, mopping again. "Oh, no," said Florence. "What are you going to do? Can you fix it?" "Well, I've had a go," said Mr. Rusty, "but I think I'm going to need some help." "What about calling the builders?" said Florence, helpfully. Well?" "Oh, they're all cowboys these days," said Mr. Rusty. "They never come when they say they're going to. You have to wait in all day for them." "Are you insured?" asked Florence. Oh, yes, but that's not much use. It just means filling in hundreds of forms and doing lots of sums and remembering things like dates. And then they lose your file and you have to start all over again. Oh dear, you have got it bad. I've been in touch with the council, said Mr. Rusty, and they said they'd send someone round. But no one's been. And that was 3 weeks ago. Well, don't give up, said Florence. I blame it all on the post office, said Zebedee. Sorry I'm late. Poor old Mr. Rusty, said Florence. Yes, said Zebedee. Come on, then. Hello, said Dougal. Lovely day, if you like that sort of thing. Oh, said Florence, this is a nice bench. It's very comfortable. It's time we had a bench. When did this arrive? Yesterday, said Zebedee. Oh, said Florence. Well, it's very nice. And I think you've put it in exactly the right place. Yes, I quite like it too, said Zebedee. But apparently it's got to go back. It's not the one I ordered, said Dougal. Does that matter, said Florence. Does it matter, she asks, said Dougal. I like the colour. Is it very different from what you ordered? Yes, said Zebedee. Is it so very different? Well, yes, actually it is, said Dougal vehemently. I ordered a hammock in pale lilac and a set of white garden furniture with a sunshade. Typical, isn't it? Takes months and months to arrive, and when it does, it's the wrong one. I definitely think the post office is to blame, said Zebedee. Nothing seems to work anymore. You can say that again, said Dougal. I mean, this'll probably fall apart tomorrow. These things are sent to try us, said Zebedee philosophically. All you do get is mail-order catalogues and advertisements for takeaway pizzas. But there we are. Aren't we? What's that got to do with it, said Florence. Yes, I'm afraid they all go straight in the bin as far as I'm concerned, said Zebedee. This is nothing like a hammock, said Dougal. See? See you later, said Florence, who was getting a little confused. Sorry I'm late, said the train. It's chaos. You wait around weeks and weeks for letters and nothing, and then suddenly they all come at once. You should see it up at head office. It's chaos up there. Letters from builders, letters from cowboys, letters from insurance people. I don't know. It never used to be like this. Oh, wow. The post's arrived, said Dylan. Does anyone fancy a takeaway pizza? Said Brian. I have here, said Dougal, the finest collection of jams in the world. And they're all mine. Marmalade. Oh, yes. I've got 3 or 4 varieties of that. It's a very popular jam, that. Very popular. Strawberry jam. Oh, yes. And all the other types. Yes, all right. Now keep still, the lot of you. None of this jumping about. You're supposed to just stand in a row on a shelf and be admired. Yes, get down. I've labelled them all very carefully so I can exhibit them all properly in my museum of jam. And take them out and taste them occasionally, of course. Just one of the little perks of being the curator. Hello, Dougal, said Florence. What's occurring? Ah, an envious jam enthusiast, said Dougal. Not really, said Florence. I was just passing and I thought I'd see if you were enjoying yourself. You are about to witness the most important collection of conserves in the Western Hemisphere, said Dougal. You're lucky I don't charge an entrance fee. Oh, all right, said Florence. Step this way, said Dougal grandly. But the jams had gone. What? Said Dougal. All gone? All my jams, my red currant jelly, my apricot and rhubarb conserve, my pretty little lemon curds gone? This is the work of jam rustlers. I don't think so, said Florence. Unscrupulous fruit and sugar thieves who would think nothing of spreading my jams on ordinary sandwiches and cakes. They must have been professionals, said Dougal. They haven't left a trace, not so much as a jam print. Hello, dear hearts, said Ermintrude. Are you looking for something? Something or someone, said Dougal. I'm looking for the gang who pulled off the great jam robbery. Can't help you, I'm afraid, said Ermintrude. I grew out of hobbies years ago. Collecting jam is more than just a hobby, said Dougal. Ah, a likely-looking suspect. I shall detain him for questioning. Hey, man, said Dillon. Let sleeping rabbits lie, right? Well, actually, it's dogs, but never mind about that. Have you seen Dougal's collection of prize jams? Asked Florence. No. I did have a jam once. It was totally for... Oh. And Dillon went back to sleep. He wouldn't appreciate a jam if it was spooned onto a scone with a double helping of clotted cream. Which, come to think of it, is rather a good idea, said Dougal. Have you ever tried peanut butter instead, said Mr. McHenry. Please, said Dougal. It's very high in protein, and if you leave the skins on, it keeps in all the vitamin C, you see. The trouble with jam is that all that sugar is very bad for the teeth, you know. You leave my teeth out of this, said Dougal. Come on, Dougal, said Florence. Let's go. We're obviously not going to find them here. Hello, said Brian. Are these yours? So it was you. I might have guessed, said Dougal. I just took them for a walk, said Brian. They looked like they needed the exercise. They were getting a bit frisky. I was only trying to help. 21, 22, blueberry preserve. Yes, all there. And as for you, you slow person, said Dougal. Can I try this one for my tea, said Florence, taking a jar. Only if you treat it with due respect, said Dougal. Oh dear, you really do find it difficult to enjoy what you've got, don't you, said Brian. I don't know what you're talking about, said Dougal. Life is for living, jam is for giving, love should be spread, and I'm off to bed. Do you think I know how to have fun, Mr. Rusty? Asked Florence one day. Fun. Let me see. I never really let my hair down, do I? Never let go. Well, enjoy yourself while you're young, that's what they say. I think I should make an effort to be more happy-go-lucky in future, said Florence. Quite right, said Mr. Rusty. Hooray, said Florence. Yippee! Oh dear. Oh. This isn't exactly doing it for me, said Florence. What you need is entertainment, said Zebedee. You're just bored. Said Florence. There's no business like show business, said Zebedee. Oh, all right, said Florence. Let's give it a whirl. Shall we go to a concert or something? When's the show start? Said Florence, arriving. Okay, are you ready to rock? Are you ready to, keep music live? Said Dillon, winding up the record player. I painted all the scenery myself, you know, said Dougal. Oh, well done, said Florence, clapping. Okay, 1, 2, and like 3. Shush, everybody, shush, whispered Dougal. I painted all the scenery myself, you know. I hope this is going to be fun, said Florence. Ladies and gentlemen, dogs and snails, let's get on down. You can clap now, said Dougal. Oh, hooray, said Florence. Thank you, thank you. First of all, can I say how groovy it is to be here in your old country and how out of sight you all are. And I mean that sincerely, from the bottom of my... Woke up this morning, out of my bed I leap, banged my head on the ceiling, and I went straight back to sleep 'cause I'm tired. I have no need of counting sheep. I'm a tired rabbit, sleep's my only habit. I think I'll lay down in a heap. I don't even know what day it is. Is that it? Said Dougal. Well, I thought it was very, 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 very good, said Brian. Yes, well, you would, said Dougal, minuscule mollusk. No, I thought it was very, 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 said Florence. Well, I suppose it was fun while it lasted. Yes, but what did you think of the scenery? Said Dougal. Well, it was all right, said Florence carefully. It was very, how shall I put it, very... It was... Well, let's ask Zebedee, said Florence. Star quality, 5 points, said Zebedee. Scenery painting, 1 point, said Florence. Very, 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 very... Oh, shut up, said Dougal. You sound like a metronome. Well, goodbye, said Florence. It's been interesting. Hello, Mr. Rusty, said Florence. It's my birthday. Oh, said Mr. Rusty, is it? Happy birthday. Did you get any presents? All I got was this handkerchief from my aunt, who I've never met, said Florence. Oh, that's a bit boring, said Mr. Rusty sympathetically. Hello, birthday girl, said Zebedee. Hello, Zebedee, said Florence. Did you get any good presents then? She got a hanky from her aunt who she's never met, said Mr. Rusty. Oh, that's a bit boring, isn't it? Said Zebedee. Where is everybody? Said Florence. Oh, there's Brian. Hello, Brian. It's my birthday today. Oh. Hello, Ermintrude. It's my birthday today. Oh, is it? Said Ermintrude. Why is everyone ignoring me? Said Florence. Hello, Dougal. It's... Oh. Well, if you think we've arranged a special surprise treat for you, then you're wrong, said Dougal. Florence blew her nose on her new hanky. Hello, Dylan. It's my birthday today, although I shouldn't think you're very interested. Well, are you coming or not? Said Mr. Rusty. I don't know, said Florence. Maybe I've got the date wrong or something. Hurry up or you'll miss the beginning, said Mr. Rusty. Oh, said Florence and sat down on a log. And now, said Mr. Rusty, for your entertainment, edification, and evolution, I am proud to present the most reckless rabbit, the most radiant rodent... sit down, please. Yes, Dylan the Juggling Hare. Here, man. Happy anniversary for a very special chick, said Dylan, and blew Florence a kiss. And here we have, if he's ready, yes, Mr. McHenry. Bum-de-bum-bum-bum, flowers, hum, in hat, tiddly-bum, flowers. Happy Tiddly-Bum Day. I thank you, and moving on swiftly now, the flying trapeze. Happy birthday, Florence, said Zebedee, and I thought you might like my biography, if ever you get the chance to read it. Oh, thank you, said Florence. Of course. And now, said Mr. Rusty, a death-defying feat. Drum roll, maestro, please. Oops. I got you 2 presents in case you didn't like the chocolates. Oh, and happy birthday, by the way. Oh, a skipping rope. Lovely. Thank you, said Florence. So you won't be needing the chocolates, said Dougal. We'll see, said Florence. And now, by popular demand, those daredevil bareback riders all the way from over there, the Brianinis. Yee-haw! And a very happy birthday to you, said Brian. Oh, I was too large to go through the hoop, said Ermintrude. Nonsense, said Brian. You're a very spelt, fine figure of a cow. Well, bye-bye, said Florence. Thank you all very much for my lovely presents. I can hardly carry them all. Well, that's it until next year, said Mr. Rusty. I'll help you, said Dougal. I'll help you carry them. What I mean, if you get bored with the chocolates, you know.